Good afternoon. Today we will study about a noun. Today's class will start with the definition of a noun, and then we will classify the nouns into 4 criteria. To classify the nouns into 4 criteria, we will ask 2 questions. The answers for the first question are 3. With the second question, the criteria of the nouns. With the first question, 2 criteria of nouns are classified. And with the second question, 2 more criteria of nouns are classified. Let's start to think about a new object. We have an object and all of us don't know what the object is. We will start to discuss about what the object is. So we will start to scrutinize what the object is. So the people in a linguistic group define what the object is. The people in the linguistic group the object with some definitions. The people in the linguistic group define the object with the definitions. So the people in the linguistic group know what the object is. The people in the linguistic group call an object with a sound, which can be considered as a name. After the people in the linguistic group agree what the object is symbolized with the name becomes a noun. So without the object, the people in the linguistic group think of the object with the noun. So we can say that a noun is made because the noun is a link between a sound and an object. After the language is made, a sound is written as a word. So the object and a noun is linked with an agreement in the linguistic group. The people in the linguistic group remind of what the object is with the noun. The people in the linguistic group can remind of the object without the object, with a noun. We will think of the procedure reversely. So the people made a noun with the object. After the noun is agreed in the linguistic group, people of a foreign object with the definition to indicate the noun. So the procedure of a noun to indicate an object is the identification. There must be many nouns to define many objects. So the people in the linguistic group classify the nouns into 4 criteria. We will ask from the first question. The first question for classifying a noun is, what is means a noun. There can be any nouns. What is happiness? What is worship? What is praying? People in the linguistic group answered to the question with 3 answers. The people in the linguistic group might ask a question with the people in the linguistic group about the foreign object. So there must be a question like, what is this? What is this object? Right? The object is not called with a noun because it is not yet agreed. We will look to the very first procedure of the agreement on a noun. First, there is an object. The people in the linguistic group answer to the question, what is this? What is this object? The first case to answer with the first question is that the people in the linguistic group answer with the question what this object is in their own answers. Like, if every person in the linguistic group think the object differently. But the point is that the object is special. The object has the specific feature. So, the people in the linguistic group, every answer of every person in the linguistic group. The second case is that the people in the linguistic group, the object, with many ways, as the first case does. But the people in the linguistic group agree on each answer which is correct. The first answer to the first question whether the answer is correct or not. The answer is subjective, but it's okay. It is all accepted. But the second answer to the question is different. The people in the linguistic group agree on the numerous answers to the first question, but only the correct answers are agreed to define the object. The third case is that the people in the linguistic group agree on what the object is with some definitions which are correct. So let's start to study from the first case. The first criterion of a noun is an abstract noun. An abstract noun indicates a metaphysical object, which means that the object cannot be perceived with the senses. The object does not have the physical existence. The object without the physical existence is accepted. Every person in the linguistic group in his own way. So each person in the linguistic group has his own definition. The definition of a noun classified as an abstract noun is not agreed upon by the people in a linguistic group. The people in the linguistic group do not agree on the definitions of each person, but accept the distinctive definitions. The characteristics of the abstract noun are defined with two. The first one is that the definition of a noun classified as an abstract noun differs from each person in a linguistic group, which is all accepted. Not agreed, but just accepted as the definition. The second characteristic to define the abstract noun is that the people in a linguistic group define the abstract noun indirectly with an experience, a condition, or an action instead of indicating a physical object, because the object indicated by the abstract noun does not have the physical being. So the people in the linguistic group define the object with their own experience, condition, or action related with the object. The first example of the abstract noun is happiness. If I ask you the question, what is happiness? The answers of us will vary, and each one of us will accept our own definition on the object happiness. So the object indicated by the abstract noun happiness occurs with the to define the abstract noun, because the definition of the abstract noun happiness differs from each person in a linguistic group. If I tell you happiness is gratitude from smelling the well-dried laundry, you will not, or you will agree with my subjective definition toward happiness. So even though you do not agree with my personal definition on happiness, you accept the definition of happiness that is defined by me. So, and if you tell me your own definition on the object happiness, I will accept your own definition on happiness. So the definition of the abstract noun differs from each other in a linguistic group. Each person defines the noun happiness with an experience, a condition, or an action with the physical object. I define the object happiness with my condition of gratitude. The object indicated by the abstract noun happiness, the physical being. Number two, the noun to indicate a sport like soccer, football, baseball, basketball, etc. is classified as an abstract noun because the sport indicates actions, numerous actions consistent with the rules of the sport. So what is football? What is football? I can describe the sport football with some actions like kicking and bouncing balls The actions define the abstract noun, football. The action is metaphysical. The action does not have the physical being. The person who shows the action has the physical being, but the action itself does not have the physical being. So the sport is defined by the actions of a subject, which are metaphysical. Number 2, every action consistent with the rule of the sport defines the abstract noun to indicate the sport. Number 3, the noun breakfast, lunch, or dinner to indicate a meal around a point in time is classified as an abstract noun. The first reason why the nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner are classified as the abstract nouns is that indicated by the nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner metaphysical. Every definition to define the breakfast is accepted as the nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner indicate an affair with actions. We have to move to intake a meal, or every action to consist of the affair is defined breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner indicate the metaphysical object. Number 2, and then the nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner indicate at a specific time, and the specific time is defined by person, is differentiated with the nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because nouns breakfast, lunch, and dinner indicate with the specific time, which can be variable to people in the linguistic group, and the estimated time when a person takes a meal is all accepted as a definition of breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The fourth examples of the abstract noun is the collective noun. The collective noun indicates a feature of a group of objects. So the collective noun indicates the feature which is metaphysical, and each in a linguistic group defines all collective noun, like furniture, with their own definition. A person can define the noun furniture with a chair, a desk, and a stool. The other person can define the noun furniture with a chair, a desk, a stool, and a bed. Each person defines the collective noun furniture with their own definitions, and the distinctive definitions by each person are accepted to define the collective noun furniture. So the collective noun indicates a characteristic which is metaphysical. The characteristic to define the noun furniture is that an object which is applied in the interior design in a house, but the characteristic is metaphysical. Like character is like feature. So the collective noun is classified as an abstract noun. There are the collective noun: stationery, confectionery, furniture, music, flower, etc. to indicate a common characteristic shared by a group of objects is classified as an abstract noun. We studied about the furniture. Let's study about the music. The collective noun music indicates a characteristic shared by objects. So the characteristic is metaphysical. The collective noun music is defined by each person in a linguistic group. Definitions by people are accepted to define the collective noun music. A person can define the collective noun music with classic, R&B, hip-hop, and EDM. The other person can define the collective music with classic, EDM. Both definitions about music are accepted. For the second example, the collective noun music indicates the metaphysical object, and each listener defines the noun music with certain kinds of genre consistent with their own taste. The definition toward the noun music is all accepted by the linguistic group. So the music is defined as an abstract noun. The collective noun to indicate a characteristic of a group of objects, like an organ of a plant to make a fruit, is metaphysical. And then people in the linguistic group define what the flower is with their own definitions. Like a person can define flower is with a rose or lily, and the other person can define the noun flower with a rose, a lily, and a dandelion. Each definition on the noun flower is accepted, but the same noun flower to indicate an object which is visible is not defined as an abstract noun. The fifth example of an abstract noun is time. The noun time indicates the metaphysical existence, which is the premise of the condition of every object. And then the person's perception to define the noun time about the time without the manual division by the unit of time. like a year, a month, or an hour is deviated in each person in a linguistic group toward a period of time can be deviated. This can be seen in the classroom. A student in a classroom perceives a period as 10 minutes, but the other student can perceive the same period with the first student as an hour, with the premise that they didn't watch the clock. So the personal definition toward time without any units is deviated. So the people in the linguistic groups sets the unit to discern a specific period of time with a second, a minute, an hour, a week, a month, and a year. The noun blue, green, red, or etc. to indicate the color is classified as an abstract noun because the color is a condition of a subject. The condition is metaphysical. The condition of a subject is about how a subject is. And then the range to define color is deviated in each person in a linguistic group. The color blue can be defined on a spectrum of color. A person can define the starting point of blue from this point, this. But the other person can define the color blue with the starting point of this and the ending point of this. So the range of color to define the same color can be deviated by each person. Each definition accepted as the noun. So the nouns to indicate color are classified as abstract nouns. The noun color is also classified as abstract noun, especially a collective noun, because the color indicates the condition, which is a characteristic of a group of. The noun color is defined with different color. Like a person can define what the color is with red, blue. Compared to the first one, the second person can define the noun color with red, blue, green, yellow, and orange. The definition toward the word color can be deviated and also be accepted as the noun color. So the noun color is classified as a collective noun, also as an abstract noun. The second classification of a noun is a proper noun. A proper noun is defined by an identity. The identity is defined with both a physical object and a metaphysical object. A metaphysical object can be defined with an experience, a condition, or an action. Second, the definition of a noun classified as a proper noun is all correct and agreed in a linguistic group. Compared to the abstract noun, the definition of the proper noun has different features. The first one is that the proper noun is defined with the physical object compared to the abstract noun. The second feature of the proper noun is that the definition to define what the noun is correct. So each person in a linguistic group and the correct definitions to define the proper noun. The definition of the abstract noun is accepted regardless of whether the definition is correct or not. But the definition of the proper noun is all correct and all agreed in the linguistic group. The first example of a proper noun is the noun soul. The noun soul is defined as a proper noun because of two reasons. The first reason is that the noun soul is defined with the territory, the citizens, the compartment in the air of the nation, the mayor, and even with the trivial characteristics such as the number of ants. People in a linguistic group define the noun soul with physical and metaphysical objects. In this way, the people in a linguistic group can list the definition of the noun soul limitlessly because the noun soul can be defined with the trivial characteristic. Then, the whole definition of the noun to define soul, which is able to be enlisted limitlessly, is the identity of the noun soul. The identity is applied only to any other object is not accorded to the limitless definition of the noun soul. The limitless definitions of the noun soul, the identity to define the noun soul. The proper noun is defined with the identity, which is accorded only to the object. So, in a written language, in a written form of the language, the proper noun is signified with uppercase letter. The first uppercase letter of the proper noun signifies that this noun has to be interpreted with the identity. Second examples of the proper noun are the nouns Christian, Korean, and American, and etc. The nouns Christian, Korean, and American, and etc. are defined as proper nouns. The nouns Christian, Korean, and American indicate a group of people who share the same language. The language is metaphysical, and the people who share the same language are physical. What the nouns Christian, Korean, and American and other linguistic group are is defined with the spirit, the culture, and can be listed limitlessly. So the nouns to indicate are defined as proper nouns. Let's compare the general noun city and the proper noun Seoul. Can be indicated by the other noun city. So, what is the difference between the noun city and Seoul? The proper noun Seoul is defined with limitless definitions. And the limitless definitions are the identity of Seoul. Compared to the proper noun Seoul, the general noun city is defined with some definitions, like limited numbers of definitions. The limited numbers of definitions with the noun city are accorded with many other cities as well, like Tokyo, Paris, New York City. So the proper noun Seoul indicates the definite object with the identity, but the general noun with the limited numbers of features indicate objects that share the limited numbers of definitions. So the same object can be indicated by the proper noun Seoul more specifically with the identity, and can be indicated by the general noun city roughly with the necessity. We classified the abstract noun and the proper noun with the first question, what the noun is. There are some differences on the degrees about the agreement. The people in a linguistic group do not agree on but accept the subjective definitions of the people in the linguistic group. The definition of the proper noun is accepted and agreed because the definitions to define the proper noun are correct, and the definitions of the proper noun are limitless. So the limitless definitions are called the identity to define the object indicated by the proper noun. So we will ask a question to the third criterion of the nouns. The third answer to the first question is that and the definitions are all agreed because the definitions are all correct. We ask the other question, the second question. The second question is that, what is a noun? There is one more letter compared to the first question. The letter is that a. The determiner a indicates the object indicated by the noun is and the object described by the determiner a is indefinite. A speaker who defines what an object is on the agreement in a linguistic group defines a unit of the object from the identification about the starting point and the ending point of the object. The second question is about the unit of the object indicated by the noun. To the abstract noun and the proper noun, the unit is based on the agreement about the definition of. There are two answers to the second question. The unit of the object indicated by the noun is not agreed or is agreed on a linguistic group. The unit of the object indicated by the noun is not agreed when the people in the linguistic group do not define the unit of the object, which is physical. And the unit of the object indicated by the noun is agreed on a linguistic group when the unit of the object is definite. The unit of the object can be made without the unit of the object. The object is measured with the quantity. The unit of the object is the premise to count the number of the object indicated by the noun. Without the unit on the agreement, the object is only measured with the quantity. The need of people to measure the object with the number makes people in a linguistic group agree on the unit. The object whose unit is not agreed is classified as a material noun. The object indicated by the material noun has the physical existence. The first example of the material noun is butter. The noun butter is classified as a material noun. The agreement on the unit of the object indicated by the noun butter is not defined in a linguistic group because the speaker and the listeners who did not agree on the starting point and the ending point of the object indicated by the noun butter consider the unit of the object differently. If I tell you what the unit of butter is, we might come up with the different size of butter because there wasn't any preceded agreement on the unit of the butter. So the people in the linguistic group to indicate an object indicated by a material noun the quantity instead of the number of the object. The speaker and the listeners agreed on the unit. Gram, kilogram, liter, etc. measure the object with the number of the unit instead of quantity of the object. The second example of the material noun is money. The noun money is classified as the material noun. The object indicated by the noun money is defined as a flow of currency in the market. The definition of the noun money is the object indicated by the noun money is metaphysical because the flow of currency cannot be perceived with senses. So people set a unit to divide the flow of money with convenience to exchange. The unit to identify the starting point and the ending point of the object indicated by the noun money is defined as coin, banknote, or check to measure the object with the number of the unit. The units for the noun money are physical and make us to count the number of the object indicated by the noun money. There is an exemplary noun that is classified as a material noun or a general noun. Let's think about a pizza and a cake. A baker cooks a pizza as an entity. The unit of the pizza baked out of the oven is not needed to be defined because it's definite. A pizza and the other pizza with original state separate, but let's think of the occasion to divide the pizza into pieces. From then, the pizza is classified as a material noun because the unit of the pizza is not set within the linguistic group. So the unit of any object is needed to be set is defined as a material noun. The unit of an object indicated by a material noun is able to be determined by the participants in the conversation. The noun to indicate the object is classified as a general noun. This explanation is applied to the noun cake too. The whole cake is divided with the other cake. The noun cake is defined as a general noun because the unit of the cake is definite. But from the point we need to split the cake into pieces, we have to set the unit of the cake. The object without the unit is indicated by a material noun. There is another example compared to pizza and cake. There is a grain. You can think of a grain of rice. The grain of rice is separate with the other grain of rice. So the unit of the grain of rice is definite. But people in a linguistic group set another unit to easily indicate a common unit that is applied much more usually. because we do not eat a grain of rice, we eat a bowl of rice. Even though the unit of rice is obvious, but the people in the linguistic group set another unit to with convenience. So the unit of rice is set. The noun rice, flour, sand are defined as material nouns. The unit of bag, package, and etc. count the number of the object indicated by the material nouns, rice, flour, sands, and etc. The fourth criterion of nouns is a general noun. The definition of the general noun is agreed in the linguistic group, and the definitions to define the general noun are all correct. The unit of the general noun to count with the number is the definition of the object and the unit of the object indicated by the general noun is agreed in a linguistic group. For example, the noun bird is classified as a general noun. People in the linguistic group agree on the definition about what the noun bird is. And people in the linguistic group also know the unit of the noun bird, because an object indicated by the general noun bird is definitely separate from the other object indicated by the same noun bird. The definition and the unit of the noun bird are agreed on a linguistic group. For the second example, the nouns sun, earth, and universe are classified as general nouns. The definitions of the objects indicated by the nouns sun, earth, and universe are. People in the linguistic group know what the object indicated by sun, earth, or universe is. The unit of each object indicated by the nouns sun, earth, and universe is clearly identified with the other object. But can you think of the other object indicated by the noun sun, earth, or universe? No. There isn't any other object indicated by the noun sun, earth, or universe. The nouns sun, earth, and universe are classified as the general nouns. But the point is that there isn't any other objects according to the definitions of the nouns sun, earth, or universe. So the determiner the always describes the general nouns sun, earth, and universe. We can know the trait of the determiner the. The object described by the determiner the is definite, set. So the speaker and the listener know what the object is with the description by the determiner the. We've studied about the nouns to indicate an object. This time, we will study about the indication to a description. A description is metaphysical because a description about a subject is about an experience, a condition, or an action. The experience, the condition, or the action is indicated by the to-infinitive or the gerund. The to-infinitive indicates an experience, a condition, or an action of a subject that is proposed by the subject. The to-infinitive indicates a description that is going to be happened after the condition of the subject. And the condition is this to describe the subject. Let's take a look at the exemplary clause. I like to surf. This clause is about the speaker. The condition of the speaker is described by the transitive verb like. And the condition of the subject is conveyed to the object indicated by the to-infinitive, to surf. So we can know that the purpose of the condition of the speaker is an action that is going to be happen after the condition of the speaker like. As a to-infinitive indicates a description of a subject, a gerund can indicate an experience, a condition, or an action of a subject as well. But compared to the to-infinitive, the gerund connotes information about a period. The description indicated by the gerund connotes that the experience, condition, or action lasts for a period. There is an example. I like surfing. This clause is about the condition of the speaker. So the condition of the speaker happens when the object of the condition indicated by the gerund surfing. So the speaker likes the period when the speaker happens the action surfing. So the indication about a description connotes information about the time compared to the description about the subject. Pronoun it. Let's study about pronoun it. Pronoun it is also called as dummy it. Pronoun alternates the noun. That's the reason why we study pronoun class about the noun. The next class is about the pronoun, so let's proceed to. As we study about a description can be indicated by the to-infinitive and the gerund. The indication about the description by the to-infinitive and the gerund can be the subject or the object in the clause. As a subject or in a clause, by the verb to describe the subject, objective complement to describe the object. The subject to include the indication about the description is ahead of the verb to describe the subject with the description about experience, condition, or action. So the listeners get the indication about the description before the description. So the listeners can confuse that what is the verb or the objective complement. The speaker who wants to emphasize the description by the verb or the objective complement replaces the subject, the object, with the pronoun it. So the listeners can get the information about the description by the verb to describe the subject or the objective complement to describe the object. And the subject or the object replaced by the pronoun it is stated after the clause is completely stated. There is an exemplary clause. It is good to pray with gratitude. The subject of the clause is stated with the to-infinitive. The subject of the clause is that, to pray with gratitude. And the pronoun it replaces the subject to emphasizes the description by the be verb is. Thank you for watching.